how we added a farm and how we assigned employee and gave them an email and a password in that farm. So here is where your employee, these are confidential data that you share with your employee. That is your farm name. So they'll enter the farm name. So your farm name, as we had set it, is in Kilifi, and then they use the email and the password that you give them, and then they click sign in. As soon as they click sign in, they wait for this process of fetching their data for offline use to finish. And as soon as they are finished, I begin by adding add. So we shall add an animal. If you already have animals with tag number, do not use this generate. You clear here and say you already have your tag number of animal, that one you can call your animal black, and it's a female and a breed under Frisian color black and white. You backdate to when your animal was born, and then this kg you last measured your animal's kgs on January 1st, and it was 688. And here we have status active, lactating, pregnant, dry, sold, or deceased. So always set active. And if your animal is missing in milk production, just come back to the animal, edit the animal, and click active. You add your animal. Then your animal has already been added in your farm. And you see this process here. This is the process that when you see that thing going around that way, it means it's waiting for network so that it can sync, or so that it can send your data to the cloud later. So the next thing that we do, we come here to milk. So you can see we already have black here, the animal by the name black. You can record what the animal produces in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. So, but that brings up the question, after the milk has been produced, whom do you send your milk to? Let us record it produced 10, produced 9, and produced 13 out of 32 liters. So you click save the record, and then the next thing, you come here to daily send. So you can see when you come to select customer, you do not have customer to whom you send your dairy produce to. So you need to add customer. You click this blue button here. So West Side Dairy Limited, you select is it an individual or an organization, and then you give them the phone number. And then we have Westside Dairy Farmers Limited. You can either choose to add these details if they are available by your customer. If not, you can leave them here, and then you add your customer. You can see this process here, syncing your data to the cloud. So you can see we already have the customer now. You can navigate back here to daily sales. So in daily sales, you select the date. So it's today is on 7th. So you now select the customer, and how many liters of milk did you sell to them. So we say we sold 30 liters. So by that we sold at 49.5 Kenya shillings, and then we record the sale. So you can see we have a remaining of 2 liters that day. So anytime you come here and select say 6th, you can see we didn't have any record on 6th. We produced nothing, sold nothing, and had a remaining of nothing. So when you select 7, you can see we have the record here. So when you click to customers, you can see you have sold 30 liters and revenue of that, but you have been paid nothing. So, and you can see Westside Dairy Limited from Westside Dairy Farmers Circle, they owe you 1,485 Kenya shillings. So you click here and say they paid you today, and they paid you 1,000, right? And you can see they either used bank transfer. Say they gave you bank transfer, you can upload the photo of receipt. This is if you are the owner and you need to review all this data later, you can always ask your employees to take the picture of that receipt and upload it to confirm the payment, and always have good record keeping. So you record the payment. So you can see now they owe you 485 Kenyan shillings. So you come back here As you can see, we have sold 30 liters, we have a revenue of that amount of money, and we have been paid this one, and we have a balance due of 485 Kenya shillings from Westside Dairy Farmers Sacco. So that is how you handle Matters milk production. So the next thing I need to show you, you can okay, so you can click here, edit, and then you upload the animal image. You can upload the animal image. Okay, once you upload, you can save the record. Wait for it to upload. Now your animals shall always have images. You can see here we have the tag number, the animal's name and the breed, and the average production per day. From there, you add your entire herd, and after you've added your entire herd, there's something here called growth tracking. So when it comes to growth tracking, remember we had 688 kgs of that animal as per the year began. So when it comes to tracking kgs, you can track the growth of your calves or any animal under all this category, that is nursing, post-weaning, growing heifers, and also pregnant animals, bulls and males. So you click your history. You can see from history we have 1st January 688 and 7th April as to as 688 also. I want to record something in between January and April, so that we let us record it in February 18th, and the animal had 680 kgs, and this time it was sick. So you can see we have 1st January 688, and then the animal got sick and reduced 8 kgs, and then after that, after this period of time, we then again measured on 7th of April, and it had 688 again, having increased 8 kgs, which marked the animal to healthy. So again, I told you, if an animal doesn't appear here and it's under milk production, you come here, pick your animal, give it status active, and then you save it. When you come back here, you'll see it. That's how you handle a missing animal under milk production. So when you come to home here, you can see we have things like sales. This one is the milk production sales that I just showed you. We have expenses, we have health, and we also have breed. So the next thing I'll show you is these KPIs. This one shows you what you have produced today. This is your daily production, these 4 of them. And then we have this period revenue and period produced and pending and net position. So this is for all the period that you set and select here. So you can see we sold 32 liters over this period. Sorry, we produced 32, we sold 30, we made a revenue of 1,485. We have a pending of 485, and the net position of our farm, assuming this amount of money shall be paid, we have 1,485 Kenyan shillings. So the next thing I'll show you is adding expenses to our farm. So you click expense, you add expense. Say this time around we give animal medicine. We create a new category called animal medicine, and we purchase deworming medicine. Let us give it color yellow, and we use 1,000. Description: purchased deworming medicine, vendor. For your employees, you can also upload the receipt of confirmation of this expense, but this time around we won't add it. So you can see we have animal medicine, which was purchased deworming medicine, which is for 1000. So you come back here to home, and you will see the net position of your farm has reduced from 1485 to 485 because we already have an expense. So you can also come here. We have calves. You shall see all your calves and track their growth from here, but I want to show you purchase. So we need to purchase an animal, so you shall record all this and then continue to purchase, and then add all the details of purchasing that animal. And if you send an animal from your farm, you shall also record the sale process here, upload the contract receipts and photos, and then save the sale of that individual animal, which should be also subtracted from your farm. To finish, I'll show you how to record health. So remember, this interface, we are logged in as a staff member of Sweet Farm, and say we have very many people using this system, so you can click easily record a disease in your farm or report a disease. This time around I'll use a report disease so that it can raise an alarm. So we have a so we give these symptoms, then we click report the animal to be sick. So you can see this animal by the tag number Kimorol 003 is sick. So the next thing, anyone who sees, they'll see that we have one active case. So they come here and under sick animals, and they'll see this sick animal, which was reported on April 7th, and then they can click treat. So once they click treat, they can search the disease name, or they can just select it here. So we have swollen udder, painful udder. These are the preloaded symptoms, but if there are other symptoms, you can easily just edit here and add them. And the treatment administered, take this from your vet and fill in here. But this time around, I'll just use mastitis treatment, mastitis injections, and then you can give the vet's name as John Tiso, and then you can give additional notes on that treatment. Once we have that treatment, we have your herd is healthy. So the next thing you shall do is you will be tracking if the animal healed or if it didn't heal. So you can see we have one active mastitis infection in our farm, which is by the name or by the animal name Black. So you can either treat again, view the details of that infection or that disease, and then this time around we shall use this button to mark as complete. So our animal fully recovered from mastitis. So the next thing I'll show you is under here vaccination. Under vaccination, you can select, we have different categories, and these categories are from here. They come from here. We have nursing, post-weaning, growing heifers, and then have breeding animals, and so on. So you navigate back to health. So we want to vaccinate our animal, so we shall select here, we select Black, and then we want to group vaccinate. The next due date shall be after 1 year, and then vaccine name is a foot and mouth vaccine by the batch number administered by John Tiso, our vet, and we record that. So come next April 7th of 2027, we shall remember to vaccinate this animal. The next thing I'll show you is deworming. So you click the animal, you can select all to select all your animals in your farm, but let us select black group deworm. So it was administered on 7th of 2026, so the next due date shall be in 3 months on 7th. Medicine dosage, you gave it 40 ml per animal. You can see we also have a new record of deworming, which was administered on April 7th of 2026, and that was the dosage. And then the next due date shall be on July 7th of 2026. So come next 2026 of 2026 on July 7th, we shall remember to also deworm that animal. So the next thing is parasite control. You log in treatment, you select the next date that you want to you control your parasite. We do it more often, so after 2 to 3 weeks. So this time around we used the knapsack spare, and the product name was Studio Clean, and then the acaricide was synthetic, and then we used 300 shillings, and then you save that treatment. So as soon as you save that treatment, so you can see we have next shall be on April 28th. So come April 28th, we shall remember to again control parasites in our farm. So you can also schedule a treatment in your farm by clicking this schedule treatment name, mastitis, and we're supposed to treat it tomorrow. Treatment to be administered by vet name John Motiso. So once you save that treatment, so you can see we have one pending treatment. So you, after Motiso have treated the animal, just click complete, and after we have clicked complete, you shall see we have one complete treatment of mastitis by John Motiso. So that is matters health. So the next thing I'll show you is matters breeding. So if you click here breed, which can also be navigated here under reproduction. So you can see when it comes to breeding, the first thing we do is record heat. You can see here we have record heat, we have record calving, since we have no pregnant animal, but we have one open animal. So we begin by record heat. So we select the animal. So the heat started at 6 a.m. So time is always crucial when it comes to breeding, because there are so many rules when it comes to breeding your animal to ensure a maximum or surety of that breeding. So the intensity was strong. Do not fill all this, just save the record. So this one shall be reminding you that you saw that your animal was had shown heat signs at on April 7th at 6 a.m. in the morning. So the next thing that you will do is record breeding. So we had pre-filled this one before we serviced our animal. So we shall use artificial insemination, and insemination time we did it at 5:30 p.m. in the afternoon. That was the most appropriate time, and the semen ID was, I don't know the version, but let us just give it the number. Always get the semen ID and save that recording. So you can see we have no animal with heat, but we have not confirmed that our animal is pregnant. So the animal shall be here in breeding waiting to be confirmed if pregnant. When you click view details, you shall see the method, the bull and the tag ID, and then you click here confirm pregnancy. So if the animal was pregnant, you click here confirm pregnancy, that is maybe after 25 to 28 days or so. And if it's open again, say it was not pregnant, you'll click here open, but let us click we confirm that our animal is pregnant. So now that our animal is pregnant, it appears here in pregnant animals with 282 days left. So our expected calving date shall be on January 15th of 2027. And the drying off, remember when it comes to drying off, you can click this button here, dry off the animal, so that it can disappear from the animals that are being milked. So we have pregnant. If this animal loses pregnancy in at an intercourse, you shall click report loss, and you shall provide the date of the loss and also reasons to why the animal lost that pregnancy. But this time we shall not use that. You can see a farm does not animals that have animals that does not have animals that are recorded pregnant. In history, you can see it was serviced and it was confirmed as pregnant. So this is how you can track matters breeding. So we have an end-to-end usage of this application and how you can use it. So we have what we call here, that is the analysis and reports. You can download the report for the last 30 days. You can export for the last 7 days. It shall be downloaded. Okay, shall be downloaded. You also have custom reports. If you want reports on individual animals, so you select that we have this animal. You can see a confirmed gestation, drying off date, expected calving date, the progress. We have 0, method AI, bull ID, the milk production for that period of time, and then reproduction history. You can see that it was confirmed. Medical logs, you can see it had a checkup and it was healed. Vaccinations and deworming, you can see all the vaccinations and all the dewormings of that animal. So on Smart Insight, here is where you get a full capture of all your farm position. So we have target net profit. So this is the profit that has remained after removing all the total revenue and all the expenses and all the livestock purchases. And if we had sold livestock from our farm, that should be calculated or added as total revenue. So in general, your top performing animal is black and it has an average production of 32 liters per day. So if you had another animal with an average production of 30 liters per day, so we would have 31.0 liters per day from your herd. We have had one mastitis instance in our farm, and then we have no animal that has been redlined. We have zero deworming overdue. We have 0 overdue vaccinations, and we have no silent hits in our farm. So for silent hit, okay, so there's something here called hit calendar. So when you click here hit, you can see that this animal was serviced, and we do not have upcoming hit prediction since we do not have uh, another animal in our farm. So if you had another animal and we had recorded a hit from our farm and then it was serviced, maybe lost that pregnancy. This heat calendar shall help us track the next day of heat prediction, whereby it shall appear here within the current calendar. You shall see it easily. So that is the usage of Dailymax app. That is how you use Dailymax app. This is how you switch themes in case you're using this application on the night, or in case your eyes are light sensitive. This is how you change currency. If you are in Tanzania, this is how you change the currency so that it can use Tanzanian shillings, or either Ugandan or anywhere in the world. So under filter, this is where you filter to see